Hey pals, it's me, Artie. I use they them pronouns only. Welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time. The last time I did this was in April or May of 2020, and that was just like such a humongous upheaval of books. So today I am doing an unhaul video of books, trying to, you know, really just be honest with myself. Am I going to read some of these fucking books? No. So like the last time I did this, I got rid of so many books because these books I'd had been collecting for like my entire life. So that was huge. This one isn't as big, but I still ended up unhauling a lot of books. I have a photo of before I did the unhaul. You can't really see all the books because I double layer these shelves in the spare room. I did bring in as well a stack of books from in here because I did have like a couple of book stacks here of unread, to be read books. I was like, you know what? That pile has not moved in a while, so I haven't read any of those books. So let's just put some on the fucking bookshelf. I still have a stack, but it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 10 books there. Mostly it's books I have already started, the next book or a couple of books in a series I started, or like books I want to try and get through because I know I'm not going to keep them and I want to unhaul them and donate them ASAP basically. So that's what's happened over there. So I'm going to show you me just doing some unhauling. I did this by myself quietly because I couldn't be bothered to talk through it as it was happening. My dog joins in halfway through. We love her. Hello, I'm sorry, but I'm trying to clean my shelves. You can come and sit somewhere else. Want to come through? You can come through. Don't want to come through. I don't mind, you can come sit here. Would you like me to move some of the books over out of the way? Look. Come on up. And then I'm going to talk through which books I decided to unhaul and why and what I'm planning on doing with them. So we know I don't really talk books too often anymore on this channel, but everyone loves an unhaul, you know, everyone loves a declutter. And because of my ADHD medication, I've kind of been on like a really big, I don't even really know how to explain it or describe it, but I've been on like, it feels like a mission to complete projects, put things away, get rid of stuff, sell stuff, donate, you know, and like shimmy and whatever my shit basically. I've been trying to make at least my bedroom, but also kind of a bit the rest of the house too, a ADHD friendly zone. Because I'm pretty sure my mum has ADHD as well, undiagnosed obviously because she was born in 72. ADHD and autism just weren't the things that they are kind of considered now, but I'm pretty sure it's like like my whole mum's side of the family, if they ain't one they are the other, or they are both, you know. So yeah, I did finally finish one of the books that's in this unhaul So the whole series is ready to go. That was the last Pretty Little Liars book that I have anyway, and I refuse to acknowledge any further books were written because it's just like a perfect ending. Didn't need to go on for another 8 to 16 books, you know. So I have deemed that the Pretty Little Liars books ended at book 8. That's it. I'm gonna try my best to go through these, but I don't remember. Like, the reason why I am unhauling a lot of them is because I don't fucking remember what they're about. Or if I do, it's a very vague understanding. In order of my photos I took for my own brain, we have Ashland and Vine by John Burnside. This is an ARC, so I don't think I can sell it. So it's either going to be donated, or if anyone does want it and they're in the UK, please just pay for postage and I'll post it to you. From what I remember, it is a young writing or journalist student. Like, I feel like I watched a film like this. Who is an alcoholic, I think. Has a drink problem. Something involving an old lady. The end. I then have The Body Book by Cameron Diaz with Sandra Bark. So I bought it because it seemed to actually have some proper facts and stuff about nutrition, but I can't be asked. I've had this book for like 4 years. I can't be asked. No, I don't care. I don't care. Then we have Falling Leaves by Adeline Yen Ma. I believe this is a memoir. Not sure. Yes, the memoir of an unwanted Chinese daughter. Another book I've had for a really long time. Can't remember where I picked it up. Probably a secondhand shop or something like that. So I enjoy non-fiction quite a lot, but this one just seemed very sad and traumatizing, to be blunt about it. I made the mistake last year of picking up a memoir that ended up being really traumatizing for me as a reader. Didn't really want to read that. I haven't picked it up in the years I've had it, and I just don't think it's something that I can or would appreciate reading at the moment. And I think it would just be better off to donate or sell it for someone else to read and enjoy this book. Appreciate this book. Sight by David Clement Davies. I'm sure I've read this, but I can't remember it at all. It's a werewolf story, basically. And I genuinely just have no idea, because I feel like I've either definitely read this book before or read another book that was very similar. I feel like that's something that happens quite a lot with some books that I'm not sure if I've read them, is that they're either very similar to another book I have read, or they're similar to like a film or TV show. So then I struggle to work out, did I actually read this book? Do I want to read this book? And I probably bought this as a teenager, because that was when I was into a lot of the supernatural romance kinds of books, like Twilight. But there was like a whole book series, a YA one, about like a werewolf pack. Like, it was really popular back in like the early first decade of the 2000s. So I think it's like an adult version of that. No idea, mate. It's huge. It's humongous. I don't want to read that. We have Moxie on this list. Someone bought this for me a couple of years ago and it sounded really cool, and then it was being made into a movie, and My understanding of it is like they are a feminist zine maker teenager who had a really feminist mum. Cool. My concern is that it's kind of very white feminist, which is not something I subscribe to.
I also wanted to add that there's a specific like reference to the Riot Girl movement in Roxy's like synopsis, whatever. And I have been learning more and more recently that actually that movement was kind of super racist. So even though the book might be good, you know, red flags for me.
But I don't know. I don't know if that's true. So, but that's like the thing that's kind of putting me off from reading the book or even watching the film. Yeah, you know. And then we have The Potion Diaries by Amy Allwood. I thought I unhauled this. There are many times where I've definitely put it to one side to get rid of, and then it somehow stayed. So this is the time it is going. It is going. It has a quote on the back from Zoe Sugg. That's enough. But basically it's about a princess who has a spell cast on her to sleep. I don't know, I think. And then these two rivaling potion people are trying to cure her or something. And it's like a really obvious rivals to lovers book is what my assumption is, because I didn't read it. About the two rivaling potion makers. So it's very cis and straight. When actually, if you ask me, it would have been better if the girl potion maker and the princess fell in love, but I don't think that's what happens, which is what put me off reading it. This is a YA book, maybe middle grade. Then I have two Bill Bryson books, Notes from a Small Island and Made in America. I read small snippets of Bill Bryson when I was in college, doing my English language AS level, because I never completed a full AS level. Oh no, that's actually accurate. I didn't complete any A levels. I have a BTEC and like several half A levels, so. And I think I picked these up probably around then, and that was in 2012. Wow, I've had these books for like probably about 10 years, because I'm sure I must have picked it up soon after that, being like,
I want to read more of these writers that I was given as examples for work to emulate in my courses.
And then I just didn't care. I've heard loads of really great things about Bill Bryson. He's a really funny travel writer. I just don't care. These books are kind of beat up because they were like long time secondhand books, but you know, still legible. Then I've got Call the Midwife by Jennifer Worth. I go in and out of this enjoyment of reading books that were made into shows or films, and I just don't care about reading this one. I watched the show. I'm still watching the show, and I don't know, I just don't feel any particular need or anything to read the book. This is about the midwives after the Second World War in London, I think. And then the next one is The Prague Cemetery by Umberto Eco. I'm really sorry. Something about cemeteries, isn't it? I don't know. Again, like every time I read the synopsis of it, I'm like, oh, actually, it's kind of interesting, but I never pick it up. So I'm just like,
just get rid of it.
And then another two books that are in a series together, A Street Cat Named Bob and The World According to Bob by James Bowen. I watched the film when it came out. And again, I was convinced I was going to read the books. Haven't. I think my gran read A Street Cat Named Bob. Haven't read it. And I'm not going to. It's about a... God, is it? Okay, so this dude is homeless in London, I don't know, in the UK, and I think this street cat basically becomes his cat and does loads of tricks and shit and helps this man get out of poverty and becomes like a national sensation in the news. Yeah, you know, again, I've watched the film and I just don't... I didn't have that much of an affinity with the film to want to read the books, really. You know, most of the things that I do read that were made into films and TV shows are things that I really enjoyed. So like the next things on this list is the first 8 books of the Pretty Little Liars book series. I read them because I found the show really entertaining. Has many flaws. Not even gonna like, no, not gonna go there, but like I really enjoyed that film, that mental illness, though, that TV show.
Oh my god, hello?
Brain glitch. And then I just happened upon the first 8 books in like 4-book series kind of like casing at a charity shop, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. And also they were so cheap, and they've been really great to read. I really enjoyed them. I don't think I care that much about them to keep them. Pretty Little Liars, cultural moment, but yeah, I don't feel the need to keep them. And then I also have Running Upon the Wires by Kate Tempest. That's a short poetry chapbook, like it's like 100 pages or something, it's really small, which is a queer poetry book. A vibe, picked up in a secondhand shop as well, and I read it because I want to understand a bit more of what maybe a smaller poetry book would be like to put together if I decide to do that myself. But I just kind of got lucky that it was also queer, and I did really enjoy it, but again, I didn't feel so deeply entangled in anything that I feel the need to keep it. And the last book on my Unhaul is Becoming Dangerous, edited by Katie West and Jasmine Elliott from the Press Fiction and Feeling, which unfortunately I think closed last year because of the pandemic. Basically led to them not being able to continue creating anthologies. This is a book of essays from marginalised people about kind of magic, witchcraft, and like, I think, routines, and how each individual person felt empowered by routine and things like that. And again, I read it a while ago. It was kind of a slog to get through in some parts. Some of the essays were not for me. Some of them were really great. Some of them were very similar to my own personal experience. Some of them were very different to mine, but very interesting to read about. And some of them I just was very bored. It is quite intersectional when it comes to the people who wrote for it. There's non-binary and trans women, women of colour. I don't know if necessarily any of them were black. It's been a while since I've read it. Disabled people, blah blah blah. Really, I can't remember much more than that. But these last books that I've unhauled, so the Pretty Little Liars books, the poetry book and Becoming Dangerous, are in a specific donation pile where I will be donating them to a local queer business hub, something that is working on opening up soon, semi-local to me. They want more queer books, and you know, I felt like, why not? They can have Pretty Little Liars, it's kind of gay. And that's kind of as well what's going to happen with some of those books behind me, that the queer ones that I read and don't plan on keeping are basically the ones that I'll be donating with these 10 books to this small business, because they're either doing, I think, like a library shelf of secondhand books where, you know, you can just put some there and take some, you know, back and forth, whatever. It's not really manned or checked on, or they're also maybe selling books. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with them yet. They are still dealing with some logistics of basic plumbing of their location they've chosen, but that's what's going to happen with those 10 books from me. The other books, however, I will either be, I don't know, maybe listing them on Vinted, or they're just going to be donated to my local book charity shop. I have one particular charity shop I really like that only sells books. That's probably where I'll be donating the rest of these books if they don't sell. If you are interested in any of these books, because I literally did this earlier in the week to when this video is going up, if you are interested and you're in the UK, leave a comment down below. I don't plan on charging very much for the books themselves, but unfortunately postage is a bitch. I'm sure a lot of these books will end up being small parcels because they're too big for like a letter slot. You know, that's kind of the world we deal with, which is why I'm also happy to just take them to donation locally to me. So that is, I think, 22 books I unhauled. The reason why it's a lot smaller is that most of the books, as I read them, I decide whether I keep or get rid of them. So there's a lot of a incoming, outgoing kind of fluid wave of books entering and exiting my life these days, that if I have started to read a book and I've not enjoyed it, or I've decided I really don't want that book, then it's kind of just gone. I did also sell like a box of 18 items, I think, to Music Magpie. Again, just a quick way to get rid of a bunch of stuff. And I think there were quite a few books in there, including some Fullmetal Alchemist, manga, a few other random books too, just to kind of make up the prices to reach the minimum threshold for selling to Music Magpie. You need to at least have £5 worth of stuff. But most of it was, I think, games and CDs, which was the main reason why I was selling to them. I couldn't be asked to work out whether I was going to like a CEX or whatever. So to make up the money on that, I threw a bunch of books in there too that they were accepting. So yeah, I've had a couple of recent unhauls. Oh yeah, I also sold some anime DVDs. I got rid of some Orange High School Host Club DVDs because I was just like, you know what, they have destroyed my trust. So yeah, I've had other mini hauls and a lot of generalized, as and when I decide a lot of books need to go because I'm just not going to read them, then I just take them to a charity shop or sell them to like Music Magpie, or you know, things like that. So whilst this has been a smaller unhaul, it's still relatively big. I actually went through pretty much all of the books I own and knew I would be considering whether I was keeping them or not. There's also an after photo of the shelves. I ended up moving some books from in here as well. Like, I think I moved some of my favourite books out round back into there, and then I also moved some of the books in from the spare room into here. So I now have the Hunger Games trilogy up there because I actually really enjoy that series. There's a lot more space on the shelves now, which kind of surprised me. I do also have a book downstairs I forgot to put in the bookshelf. Good, well done me. That's where we're at with my unhauling of books and reorganising the shelves. I hope you enjoyed this video. My brain's just like,
No, you will not enjoy this video.
Please leave a like, because it really helps with the algorithm and helping me reach new people. Leave a comment as well, that also helps too. But you know, I do also enjoy reading other people's points of view and thoughts on the things that I've been talking about, the books I'm keeping and unhauling and blah blah blah. And subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of me. I have many videos you can go and check out. And yeah, as well, before you leave, I have a digital Zine up available on my Ko-fi. I'm raising funds to help a friend out who has been kind of fucked over by her healthcare team. So we are splitting the earnings of that. We haven't really decided exactly how much the split is. I think I'm mainly waiting to see how many people buy a copy. So far we're at 13 people have bought a copy. It's £2 minimum, but you can opt to pay more if you like. Yeah, and it's my first Zine that I've done myself. I'm really proud of it. It's about chronic illness and disability stuff with a lot of dark humour that people have really appreciated apparently. So yeah, I appreciate if you go check that out too. And I will see you next week. Bye.